Appreciate you hitting the button. Welcome to the How to Hustle podcast with Hype. This is episode 166. You follow me on Instagram and we still calling it Twitter at I am Hype. That's HYMPE. It's Hype. It's not Hype. I'm not geeked up. I forget about TikTok every time. At TikTok, TikTok is at I am Hype 23. Um, this is the podcast, episode 166. This is something I've been trying to make happen for a while. I tapped her a long time ago and said, Kelly, I got a topic for you. I actually had a few topics that Kelly would be good for, but this is how we make these situations happen. It's almost like we linked up. But introduce yourself to
Oh,
the
when is
audience
that
before
going to
we start.
happen?
We call that a tease in the business. Introduce yourself to the audience though first.
Hey, this is Kelly Q from the Mr. Know It All podcast. Friends with the fam, so I'm ready to get the jabbing.
Copy that. Me and Kelly will also be linking on May the 4th. May the 4th, May the 4th. Get the link in the bio. Podcast link live show. The
Mm-hmm.
Empire Strikes Back. The tickets are on sale right now. The tickets are on sale right now. So
I'm
hit the
gonna
link
find
in
me a
that bio.
lightsaber for this event.
You will just find you a lightsaber. That could be taken so many other ways if you watch Dave Chappelle. Uh, hit the link in that bio. Make sure y'all get those tickets. A King's Cafe. Doors is at 4 o'clock. That is 218 West Shelton Ave. It's Wayne and Shelton if you're in the city. And out of the city, if you like to make a donation, a contribution, buy some tickets, we'll raffle them off. All that type of love. We accept all of that.
And we
Um,
appreciate it.
also, me and Kelly, you can find us every Monday between 7 and 8 ish. You know, real parents and such. We may have homework to do or some kids to discipline, but we're doing the recap shows. That's me and Dan. Me and Dan. Active dads, no teachers' names. They recognize you when you show up at the school. You know,
My son is
real
20.
fathers, real men. um, yeah, we're doing the recaps though. Every Monday night, you can find me, Kelly, and Dan doing those recaps. We've stretched that over a variety of shows, so you get with us and let us know what you would like to have recapped if we haven't done it already. Now,
Mm-hmm.
episode 166, Kelly is pinch hitting in here for me in the last minute situation, but that's behind the scenes information. This one is when is it okay to let go? I tell people all the time I use all my conversations as currency. I'm at work and somebody brought up some Robert music. And then as they begin to sing, I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Hashtag no Robert. He said, nah, man, I grew up on that. I can't never let it go. I've grown up with a lot of things, a lot of people, places, and things that I grew up with that I would just is not still kosher. Um, so the question is, because people will always give you I grew up with this, I grew up with that. People also grew up in slavery, so we still be slaves. Um, people grew up in a lot of bad situations. People grew up in situations where their dad was beating their mom up. Should you beat your wife up? People grew up in situations where people were being touched inappropriately. Should we still be doing that? People grew up in situations where things were just not right. We could just, because you could get down a rabbit hole if you continue to go on with these. But just because you always had something don't mean that you should always accept it. Once you know better, you should do a little bit better. Once you educate yourself on something, you should go like, oh, there's too much salt in this, and my ass is 40. Oh, maybe I should hit the gym from time to time. I might need to stretch for every now and again. Once you
Yeah.
know better, you should do a little bit better. So Kelly,
Yeah, I
we
printed out
like to
my
let the
stretches
guests
today.
we like to let the guests go first though here on the How to Hustle podcast with Hank. Talk to me, Kelly. Is it okay to let go?
It has to be okay to let go. You know why? Because
Why
when
is
you
that?
when you're holding on to something, you can't receive.
Kind of hard to receive if your hands are squeezed tight.
If your
Holding
if
on.
your hands now we're not going to talk about R. Kelly right now. We'll get to that, but we're not going to talk about it right now. But just in general, if you're holding on to anger, if you're holding on to hurt, if you're holding on and just holding on and making yourself miserable while you're holding on to this, then you're never going to be happy. You got to let go. You've got to move on. Nobody said forget, because if you forget, you're a fool. I'm sorry, but
If you forget, you
you're
can't
gonna
learn from it.
you can't learn from that issue, and you can't keep yourself from making that same mistake. But you got to let go, and you got to move on to allow bigger and better and more wonderful things to enter your life.
So I will also go here. Like, if you never let go of things that you had, then how do you ever grow? How do you get any better?
Hmm.
Because you kind of stagnate in yourself. The way that the things like that you speaking on though is also recognizing that you got to let the all this pain or this hurt so that you can get to the next situation. You have to
Yeah.
identify that there is pain or there is hurt. And those are some of the hardest conversations to have is the one in the mirror, is the one with yourself. I tell
Oh,
people all the time, if you can't be real with yourself, then how you gonna be real with me? If you
the
make bad decisions
scariest
with your
thing.
life, then I can't trust you with mine. Like
Yeah, I was actually I just had a long drive home and a nice little conversation with my cousin where she was telling me like she had to check herself about something she did. And that is the scariest thing. Not to check someone else, but to actually look at yourself and check yourself and realize what you did wrong. But you
it's
got
the
you.
burden. So that's the joint that I call like the burden of knowledge. If you got
Mhm.
like the burden of like the understanding and the knowledge, it'd be like it's so hard for you to do stuff because you be knowing like some people you just don't know you don't know what you don't know, and you got a certain amount of years of just like naivete where you could just be like, oh,
Right.
I didn't know that, I never learned that, I was never shown that, I was never taught that. But once
Right.
we get a certain age and stage again, because you've had to let some things go, you've had to move into some new situations, or
You
you
had to learn
should
some things in life.
you gotta, yeah. That's why I always say it's perfectly fine for the kids to fall, scrape a knee, bruise an elbow, because you gotta have some scars. Like
Yeah.
life is gonna be hard. As you know, you might have some easy patches, but eventually you're gonna stub that
Mm.
toe,
I mean,
and
life is
you
not
going you got to learn how to
a
deal with that.
Disney World vacation every day.
Hell no, fairy tale is
You
something somebody
know,
wrote, not somebody. A fairy tale is something somebody wrote, not something somebody lived. Like,
exactly. Like life is. I heard this on the TV show. Basically, life is like a roller coaster. You got your ups, you got your downs, you got some loop de loops. Is a whole bunch of things going to happen to you in your life, but guess what? You still are able to complete that ride.
my young boy said at work one day, life is like a waffle. Because it's in so
Why?
many it's in so many different sections and there's so many bumps in the road, and people
Right.
just want it to be like a pancake because they want it to be smooth, but that ain't how life work. And I'm like,
You know
nigga, that
what?
really, I said, nigga, that made sense.
Damn.
Yo.
That's crazy. It makes a lot of sense though. It makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. Like you,
young
I
young boy
try to
was
tell
20
my
and young boy
son.
was 20 and told me that one. I said, nigga,
Yeah,
you
but I mean, I try to tell my son like we're going to have fun in life. That's no doubt. We're going to have fun in life, but we also got to work. We also got to deal with the bull that comes our way. Like everything is not just flowers and balloons all the damn time. You have your rain, you have your storms that you're going to go through, but
better
you
pack a hoodie
cannot
or an
sit
umbrella.
right. You cannot sit stagnant in that storm. You can't. You're going to have to keep going through that storm and get to the other side.
So
Okay.
now let's take it to like where the initial conversation had came from though.
Hmm.
Something like music. Now, somebody like me, I got daughters. I got two daughters and a niece to tell
Right.
everybody. Um, so when you have these situations where it's like, so you did this with this girl and this with this girl, I can't separate the song from the art because now it's just like the Diddy situation now. My problem with that is I need proof. I don't need like we can circumstantially evidence till we blue in the face. Now any interview where you see if he walks in and puts his arm on somebody's shoulder, somebody goes, "Oh, look at this gay shit."
Everybody
Like,
looking at it. They
yeah,
trying to catch
everything looks,
one little thing.
yeah. You can't like I'm a put an arm around like type of guy, and yeah, if you, I
Yeah.
ain't
It
I'm not
means
I don't
nothing.
it means nothing. Yeah, I'm not a no homo kind of guy or no Diddy type of dude because I know who I am and I don't need to you know what I'm saying profess none of that to whoever. But yeah, I need some tangible evidence and proof. Like
Right.
the kick and cat the kitten the situation with Cassie, you seen it. That's corny. I don't pump that type stuff. I ain't that type guy. But once you see a certain thing or somebody says a certain thing or moves a certain way, then I don't care how hot the song was. I'm the type of
Right.
person I feel like I've never felt like I can have vices. I never felt like I gotta drink, I gotta smoke, you gotta pop pills, you gotta do anything because at any given moment I could just be over something and I could wipe my hands of it and be like, I'm cool. Like
Right.
we don't do that no more. And feeling on your booty was my shit. But the first time I think like, yeah,
But
but
then you
who you
think
talking
about
about?
right.
Yeah, like
Who's
Whose are you
Booty?
talking about? You know what I'm saying? And that's the
Who's Booty?
problem. So you
It
tell me
wasn't.
about that though. Take it to the music store.
So there are times, and I mean, this is coming from me as a woman.
When you
When
need someone.
when everything started to go down with Robert Kelly, I took it all off my phone. I had 3 different albums on my phone, including the red.
TP2.com was very hard to delete. I will tell you that.
It, that was the red one. That's the red and black one.
No, that's the white one. That's the one with the white cover.
Oh no,
They
in
don't
the
like the
fur,
fur. Yeah,
in the
the
fur
fur.
too. The red and
Decisions
black,
and
the
I
red and black
decided we're going.
album. Was that just R? The whatever,
I'm.
whichever one the red and black album was.
I'll look it
That
up.
was
Go
the
ahead.
hardest one for me to delete because I knew every song on that CD, back and forth, fork and back, up and down, left and right. But I had to stand in solidarity with women because I'm someone's daughter. That was someone's daughter. Like the stuff. Come to find out, I found out because I don't usually play the music that's on my phone. I still have 2 songs on my phone because every now and again, when I do play my regular music, it comes through. If I hear it on, and it's rare that you hear it on because you don't hear it on the radio anymore, for real. If I hear it on, it might continue to play in that moment. I can't say that I'm going to completely turn it off if I hear it. And it really depends on the song.
All right. So the one you talking about is R. That was what was that? 93. I think this is.
See, and
Oh
that's
no,
my
12,
that's my
12 players 93. So R is like 95. All right. Yeah.
mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
like that's
Mm-hmm.
freshman
That's,
year,
yeah. That's prime
sophomore
time.
year, freshman, second semester freshman year, first semester sophomore year. So that's that summer of '95. Oh my, yeah, it's memories.
Yeah.
That's
It,
the problem with trying to let some of it go is that there are
it's the
so many
soundtrack.
memories
Music is all about time
attached.
and music is all about the time and place. And
Right.
if a song was hot when you was 17, you ain't never letting that joint go. Cause I was in 12th grade, I was feeling myself. I'm saying, then like you said, in my sophomore year, my junior year, then when you graduate, like yeah, any of
Yeah.
those ages between like 18 and 25, any song that comes on, it reminds you of the club and the night
It's
and
a
the
certain
time.
time.
Yeah, but like I said, man, 2p2.com was very hard to let go, but I let it go. The only thing I
Yeah.
still got on my phone is fucking you tonight with Biggie. That's Biggie. It came on me the other day on my shuffle and I said, skip. I can't do it. Can't do it.
I forget which. I have 2 songs from the R album that's on my phone. I can't forget. I remember which ones they are, but
Was the AJ number the number?
that
My, so
that's not that one. But and it's funny because I'm the kind of remember how old are you, honey?
37.
You might remember. I had vinyl growing up. So in vinyl, we had lyrics inside. We had the liner sheets. So we had lyrics inside of the vinyl. Some albums had all the lyrics on the back of them.
Mm-hmm.
So tapes, sometimes you had tapes and you grow out and you had all the lyrics. So all these memories come with these songs and just I remember the hell I went through to get that blue R. Kelly CD. I can't remember which one it was. Is probably after TP2. But I went through hell. I had somebody else pick it up from the store, drop it off at my job. Like I didn't throw my CDs away because I still have CDs. Like Keith be on me, like throw your CDs away. No, Because one, I still have a CD player, and two, I still got our CDs.
First of all, if I bought them Jones, Chocolate Factory is the one you talking about.
No, it's the blue one. It's the blue one. It was definitely
Uh
95,
wait.
94, 95.
So R is 98. R Kelly is 95. 12 play is 93.
Which one is blue?
It just got it got like it got the album list. It don't got like the pictures right here, the one I'm looking at right now. All
Dang.
right, see my so so you gotta understand me. My situation was different. My dad was
Right.
40 when I was born. My mom was 37 or 38. So we wasn't Biggie wasn't played in the car. Biggie was played in the back room with my brother. Like,
Okay. Oh, R. Kelly, 95. That's the blue one.
all right.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right,
But
so now
I went through hell trying to get that CD. But I mean, look, there are times where
I don't even want to put
you
all
gotta
this
let
smoke just
go.
on him. I don't even
You
want to put
gotta
all
let
this
go.
smoke just on him. Cause like
No,
you
it's not
find
just
out
on
things
him.
about
It's
yeah, you find out things
but
about different people just because the comments, people gonna say, well, what about this one and what about that one? If I find
right,
out
because
anything
somebody's
about
going to
people,
say about the Cosby
I'm
Show. Because remember when everything started dropping about Mr. Cosby, they took the show off the air.
so here's my problem.
There's no rerun. There's no reruns. But guess what? I not so much I watch an episode of the Cosby Show every day, but when I'm turning the channel, there's a Cosby Show on.
So I got a problem with this is my problem with the Bill situation. One, my brother was
Mhm.
booked with Bill. Two, uh
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
the problem with them Jones is now when somebody has a real situation like that, it's a traumatic situation. You might not be able to talk about this for right now. You might not like you still trying to process it and all of that. So I don't want to demean, belittle, or like talk down on nobody's
Right.
situation like that. There's not it can't be coincidental though that we gonna go 35, 45 years ago. This happened to me at this party. And no, if it happened to all these people, everybody didn't have like this oh my god type of situation. Somebody would have came out and been like, "Yo, I don't like whatever happened to me," and they like standing on it, like, forget that I wanted to be an actress, I wanted to be a singer, I wanted to be this, that, or whatever. This happened to me, and I ain't like it. And the problem with these, when people be getting money situations, like it was like when they had the concussion lawsuit at the NFL, and it was like so many niggas at ESPN was just like, "Yeah, put my name down, and I'm fine." But if they gonna hand out some checks, I'm gonna get in line to get one. So it makes it a problem when the woman at that point, because you said it 45 years ago, now you 65, 75, and you finally able to talk about this. The person who really had a situation that happened with them, I feel bad for that person because the other six people, the other 12 people, the other 30 people is just going like, well, Kelly got her name down, so I'm gonna put my name down. Natalia put her name down, so I'm gonna put my name down. And like they
Right.
just jump on it just because they like, oh, they handing out 100,000. If I just say, oh yeah, at a party 45 years ago, you ain't got no, you
With
obviously
no
like you
kind of
can't,
proof.
yeah, you can't pull no evidence or nothing. Like whoever was there, half these people might not be here no more. Like the girl you was
Right.
in there with might not be here no more. That's why I said like I don't want to belittle them situations, but it's like somebody would have had to have said something. You could have at least had a situation where it's like, yeah, I filed a police report and then they never did nothing with it or something. Like it can't
Yeah.
just all be
And
so
it's crazy.
circumstantial that
It's
nobody said nothing
almost
and now everybody's getting a bag.
it's almost like a you damned if you do, damned if you don't. A lot of people
Absolutely.
say they could separate the person from the music, separate the person from the art. With Bill Cosby, I literally have to separate him from Heathcliff
Just
Huxtable.
Heathcook Festival.
Heathcliff Huxtable. Because literally, that show got me to college. That show opened up a dialogue with my mother, who did not go to college, did not know how to send me to college, and didn't even know how to start the conversation about college. And that show helped her help me become a 2 degree person.
Say that one more time for the people in the back. Let's not belittle those. Say that one more time.
2 degrees.
Copy that.
Thank you very much.
You just let us into the Get to Know segment. Get to Know is
Hmm.
sponsored by Custom Hustle at Custom Hustle World on Instagram. It's Custom Hustle Code on Twitter. Let's see what product we are going to feature today. We are going to feature
Ooh.
the Custom Hustle boots. Yes, the boy got his own boots out here. Okay, you know what I'm saying? If you're watching on the E Block Radio Network every Monday at 2 o'clock on the E Block Radio Network, shouts out to my man Q. Um, yeah, the Custom
One of
Hustle
my favorite
boots are,
letters.
I'm saying those are available. You see how I did that? Those are available for you Bigfoot brothers up to a 13. We can put those in
Okay.
any color, you know what I'm saying, that you need. Over at Custom Hustle World, though. Shout out to my girl Taya. We feature a product every week here on the How to Hustle podcast behind when we get to know the
Taya.
guests. Oh, Kelly Q. This is the Get to Know Kelly Q segment here. And since you
Yay.
brought it up, I didn't. Did you want to go to Hillman as a child watching the Cosby?
I wanted to go to Hillman. Honest to goodness, somebody sells Hillman sweatshirts and I need one. And I need one. I need a Hillman sweatshirt, I need a hoodie, and I need a t-shirt. But I did want to go to a school, something like that. That's actually where I found out about HBCUs, even though I didn't go to one. But I did apply for a few, but they were out of state, and you know how money is sometimes. So I did not
you know,
go out of state to a HBCU
what you're
or
saying
stay
is
in
you know
state.
how what you're saying is you know how life be life and shouts out to now Mimi.
I know how life be life in. Holla at Nah. I saw him yesterday. What's up, bro?
All right, now this is another one here. For you, if you had
Mm-hmm.
to recommend anything, what would it be? It could be a song, a book, a podcast that only accepts 5 stars, and go. And the host's name is Hype. Whatever it is that you would like to recommend. If you recommend one thing to somebody, it would be what?
Love and allow yourself to be loved.
Oh, okay. Excuse
That's
me,
what I
music soul
recommend.
child. Show me the way to surrender my heart. Go ahead now.
Love and allow, like, honest to goodness, we're gonna take it to a different world. Relax, relate, and release.
All right now. Say that now. Give me the remix there again. One more time for the folks in the back, Kelly.
For those that do not remember, or maybe not old enough to have seen the show, when Debbie Allen played Whitley's therapist, she told her to relax, relate, and release.
And
And that's
those were
what you
some
got to
Hillman.
do.
And those were some Hillman students right there. We done tied it all in. Now, this is one more that I just started on the show. It's called Finish the Story. And since we've been
Yes,
talking,
because I got
since we've
hype
been,
about this story. I got
all
hype
right,
about. I didn't like his story.
all right. So we gonna go back into last week's episode 165. But I need you to finish the story for me. When we
Okay.
leave the Cosbys, Theo is who we gonna focus on. We left the
Okay.
Cosbys in what 90 like 3 or 4 when we left the Cosbys.
93.
93. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
that means
92, 93. Yeah.
we left them 36 years ago. What did Theo's life turn out to be? Did Theo get married? Did Theo work at the tartan company where he trashed all their food at that where he wrecked the buffet
No.
at the tartan joint? What did Theo's life
Well,
look like?
this is what we're in 2025 now.
Mm-hmm.
Theo is a principal of a school.
Because Theo is probably like 56 by now, 58, something like that. So you're saying
Right.
Theo's a
Because
principal.
I'll
Okay.
be 50 next year. So yeah, he's up there. So he's a principal or CEO of a school. He does help. He makes in his school. He has a special department with for kids that have learning issues, trying to find them out earlier than he did because he found out he had dyslexia when he was in college. So trying to help kids, figure things out earlier to help them have a straighter road to figure life out. So
Ain't even a straighter road. It's just let's even out the playing field. If I know
yes,
that you need to work a little harder, then if we don't identify that you have an issue, then we can't help you with it. It's
exactly.
one thing I always tell my little cousins, like, if you don't tell me something's wrong, then I can't help you with the problem. Um,
Exactly. So
so now,
defining that These
Did he
kids are
get
not
married?
having behavior issues, they're having learning difficulties.
Did Theo ever get married? How many kids did he have?
Theo got married to the actress that he was dating at the end. Well, no, she wasn't actress.
Justine? Justine?
No, not she didn't get married to he
I'm
didn't
about
get
to
married.
say.
He was dating a young woman that was Jamaican at the end.
Oh, you talking
But
about
she
Max
played
from Soul
she
Food?
right.
Max from
But
Soul Food. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right.
From the series, Soul Food the
So
series.
Soul
All
Food the
right.
series. But remember, she played at one time, she played his best friend's girlfriend, the actress.
Well, you know,
That
my
yeah,
man
you know how
Heathcliff was
they
just
mix
trying to
all the
keep the
characters.
yeah. He was trying to keep you with a job. Okay. Oh.
Right. He kept people with a job all day. But he did pass his finals. They started dating. They got married. So their children are half African American, half Jamaican. So they do a lot of travel to the Caribbean to see her family. Um, Probably about two or three kids, just because he came from a big
He came from a
family of
huge. Yeah, he
five.
came from a huge family.
So I don't want to say he had two kids, but he had three, and probably he grew up in a family of girls, and he was the only boy. I'll say he has two boys and one girl.
Copy that. Kelly Q, look at that. You came with a whole scenario laid out for me. Okay. And you throw that at most people, they're gonna be like, damn, Hype ain't tell me about this one. But see, this is why I don't tell you about this one. Because if you're
Right.
gonna be at the Podcast Link live show, The Empire Strikes Back on May the 4th on stage with us, then that means you are paid talent at this point. Okay. You are now a
Yes.
professional. And at any point, if you're on panel one with me, you get things thrown at you that are not on the paper and you have to be ready and able to handle those situations. So salute to Kelly Q for handling that one. Now,
Now,
uh,
can I go
you
back
said
to
you had a
Martin real quick?
yeah, you said you had a problem. Get her off you, Stokesy. Come on, bro.
Now, Martin and Gina moved to LA. His show becomes a success. She was in advertising, so now she's this is now what 35 years later, about the same thing, 30, 35 years later.
hmm
She now
That was like
owns her
97, yeah.
own right, she owns her own advertising firm. Pam is somewhere doing her music thing. She's probably CEO of a company by now for her music. Martin and Gina definitely had kids. However,
I told him,
however,
I'm like, bro, they was like 25, 26. You talking about they was
right.
old.
And remember, she had a pregnancy scare on the show.
I asked my man be stroking. That's what I do.
He had one when he was a juror and she was, ovulating, whatever.
Ovulating.
So they do have kids. They have three kids. However, they were having trouble having a baby. So they adopted.
Okay.
But at that
Smarty
same
Mar love the
time,
kids.
right. And so when they finally got the baby, she found out she was pregnant.
Okay, on some King of Queens
So,
type time. I got you.
right. So then they have their baby and then they have, one more baby. So I'm thinking they probably have two little girls and then one little boy. That first little girl that's actually biologically theirs, that's Martina. Because he wasn't going to have it no other way. That's Martina. But she acts just like her mom. She acts just like her mom. She is
The
bougie as fuck, just like her mom.
the last one from Martin. Did Tommy have a job? Did,
Tommy
did,
worked
did
for
he
the
work at?
CIA.
He wasn't working at Malcolm's Chop Shop, so he was working.
No, no, Martin. No, no. He worked for the CIA.
Okay,
He worked
copy
for the
that.
CIA, and that's the only thing I could think of because you ain't never.
That's a hell of a knot you got there, Tommy.
That look. What did Pam say one day? She was like, "Cause you be coming up in here with all them fucking fly clothes and everything. Like, man,
And
what
he
you
said,
do?"
"You know what I do now."
Yeah, I tried to get him
All
a
right,
job at the airport.
all right. Last one now. This is the what do we need to know segment, sponsored by H2H Cleaning. That's my cleaning company where we do roofing,
Hmm.
plumbing, flooring, HVAC, cleanups, cleanouts, remodels, grass cutting, tree trimming. We will handle all of your power washing, however you need these situations done. We just don't handle
And
septic
power
tanks.
washing is expensive.
Yeah, power washes are definitely expensive. Just before you ask me, we can do it. It's just gonna cost you.
I
But
was
Kelly,
cracking up
floor
when I
is
heard that.
somebody hit me the other day and was like, "Hey, bro, y'all do power washing? We do. It's expensive. I'm just telling you that before we get there with the
Right.
machine."
Because it's a lot of
Um,
water. Look, it's a
that's what
lot
I'm
of
saying,
water.
and a lot of machinery.
Yeah.
So go ahead. What do we need to know, Kelly? Your floor is yours.
You need to know Podcast Live. Podcast Link Live is coming. King's
May the
Cafe,
fourth.
May the 4th, Shelton Avenue. Now, any
Doors
other
are at
time, I'm
4.
like, yeah, that's
Doors
around
are
the
at
corner.
4.
But I don't live
And when we
around there no
say
more.
doors are at 4, we mean doors are at 4.
Because you know why? You're invited to a show that started at,
There
just
you
like
go.
Fresh Prince said.
Copy that. Kelly
And
Q.
y'all need to know that I will be back on the Mr. Know It All podcast, episode 201. We hit our 200th episode this
Oh
past
yeah,
Saturday.
yeah, salute to that. 200
However, a
episodes
sister
means
was sick
consistency.
and I could not be there. But 201, I am there back with my brother to talk it up and talk some smack.
Copy that. So, Kelly, I will see you on Monday night when we hit the next recap. I will see you
Yep.
on May the 4th. Doors are at 4 o'clock for the
Yep.
Podcast Link Live show, The Empire Strikes Back. That will be featuring me. That will be featuring Kelly Q, Big Dan, Tone the Promoter, Miss Starheart, excuse me, Dana K, Sonny, Taya, the curator, Mr. Know It All, C Cash, JR215. Those two gentlemen will be performing. So you make sure you get down there, and I'll
This is
forget
like
about my man. My man,
double,
nah, I
triple.
almost let it slip. Nah, but I didn't. My man,
What,
nah.
cinnamon? What, cinnamon now?
No, whoa. We will not be doing my
I'm
man
sorry
nah
now.
like that.
I'm sorry
We won't
now.
be, we won't be doing my man nah like that. You know what I'm saying? But
It's
yeah, May
money
the fourth,
making now. That's what we
May
gonna
the
do.
fourth.
That's money
Make
making now.
sure May the 4th. Make sure y'all hit the link in the bio and get y'all tickets now for the
Five
Podcast
four
Link Live show. The
five
Empire Strikes
four
Back.
two five. Yep.
Kelly, appreciate you for coming on. That is episode
Thank you for having me
166, and
finally.
we are out.